Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go to Chicagoland in both the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, and I actually decided to drive the Xfinity car for this episode myself. I think this would be our second time this season in the Xfinity Series now, as we started down in P15, so not the best qualifying effort from myself here in Chicago, but we would be able to actually work our way through the field pretty well because we actually had a pretty fast car, and one of the fastest cars here in Chicago is, like I said, we would work our way forwards as we would drive up into the top 10 up to P6 here, as you see a little bit later on in this event, looking to the outside of Cole Custer just about there in the 00 as we went down the front straightaway and continuing to move forwards now as we came up to P2 past the midway point of this race on the outside of the one car of Elliott Sadler, taking over the lead in Chicagoland. Now a Cup regular taking the lead in the Xfinity race. That always goes over well. Now as we come down the back straightaway, we would be able to hold on to the lead as we came through turns 3 and turns 4 on the final lap, just in front of Sadler, heading down the front straightaway for the final time. We're going to come through to win our first Xfinity race in many seasons now here in Chicago. So a great result for us in the Xfinity Series race. Very happy with that, obviously. Now hopefully we can repeat that here in the Cup Series, but usually Chicago in the Cup Series goes completely different for me when we drive here. So now as we came through into qualifying out of turn 4 down the front straightaway, it wasn't going to be the best lap as we come across the line, but we will start P17 with a 29.590 there with Alex Bowman, our teammate, just a few spots behind us in P19. So hopefully we can move our way forwards here in Chicago.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chicagoland Speedway for today's running of the Overton's 400. The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series is stopping in Joliet much earlier than in years past. Up until the beginning of the 2018 season, this venue hosted the first event of the playoffs, but now it closes out the first half of the regular season. Whenever Chicagoland appears on the schedule, this 1.5-mile D-shaped tri-oval is going to be a formidable challenge. Will we see a close finish, or will someone breeze into victory lane here in the Windy City? Let's send it down to the track as the green flag is in the air.
Alright, we're ready to go green here for the Overton's 400 at Chicagoland Speedway. Kurt Busch is on the pole here for Chicago, so hopefully he can have a good run now as we get ready to go green from P17 behind our teammate of the 48 car, Jimmy Johnson, who's still on the outside looking in on the playoffs, just like the teammate behind us, Alex Bowman, is, as the green flag is out now, and we are underway here for Chicago, a track that we usually struggle to run top 10 at, but hopefully today we can have a chance to do that. I did actually put some extra grill tape on the car for the start of this race, hoping that it would give us extra speed now as we go down through turns 1 and turns 2. Kurt Busch quickly clear for the lead as we head down of turn 2. Eric Jones on our outside, surprise there, one of the drivers that we've had a history with recently on my outside at the start of this race as we go through turns 3 and turns 4, trying to get to the inside of the 12 car of Ryan Blaney there as we exit turn 4, just being a little bit cautious behind our teammate Johnson now as we cross the line to complete this first lap here in Chicago now, as we have all 400 cars running right and around each other. Just behind me, Bowman sits in the 88 car beside Eric Jones, and we would continue running in about 15th or so as we were actually up on the top at this point. Bowman, he would get to my inside now as you see Elliott and Johnson up ahead, and you also notice on your screen that the car was starting to overheat here as I had put too much grill tape on to the car, so certainly a mistake on my part, and we're going to have to get rid of that at the end of the first stage. But as soon as the car started overheating, my pace started dropping significantly there as we get under the apron now a few laps later, and Suarez and Blaney, they would be able to come through and make passes on me, and I just certainly, this whole stage just went downhill after the car started overheating as it came to lap 11, trying to fight back on Ryan Blaney, but he would come into turn 4 and down the straightaway. They would have so much more speed than I did that I could not quite hang with them as I would battle through the line there. 8 to go on the stage, just not quite able to stick with Blaney now as it came to lap 14, starting to lose contact with Blaney as Ryan Newman would be able to look to my inside as we went down towards turns 3, and he would be able to get past me, and Paul Menard would follow through here as we come through turns 3 and turns 4, giving it everything I have. But like I said, with the car overheating, the pace was just dropping there as we came through the front straightaway. Paul Menard would get past past me as well. We would drop down to P21, and as we came to lap 18, approaching the final lap now, we would actually gain one more spot back and be sitting P20 behind this group of cars as we head down through turns 1 on the final lap. And the stage now is just triple up ahead, and Chase Elliott is blowing up as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway. He's going to cause Newman to slow up, and Menard, and we're going to drive around on the outside as we head down the back straightaway for the final time. Our Hendrick teammate of Chase Elliott blows up on the final lap of the stage as we go through turn 3 and turn 4, running P19 now as Newman looks to my inside as we head down through the tri-oval. We would have a caution actually thrown just moments before we cross the line, so we would get P19 in the first stage after Chase Elliott, our teammate, blows up on the final lap. And we have Eric Almirola coming through to win the stage, so a great result for him. And I would put the grill tape down to 35% just to make sure we don't overheat here in the second stage. So we would get ready to start stage 2 from the 19th position, just 2 spots behind where we initially started in this race now as the green flag is out, and we are on the way for the second stage of 3 here in Chicago behind the 12 car of Ryan Blaney, who doesn't have a great start. I give him a shove as we head down towards turns 1 as he sits behind the 41 of Daniel Suarez, who is also just a few spots outside of the playoffs now as we go through the center of the corner. Blaney not having a good run there as we come out of turn 2, looking to his inside now as we go down the back straightaway, making it 3 wide with him as he actually backs out of the 3 wide now as we go down into turn 3, looking to the inside of our former teammate of Denny Hamlin as we're on the back bumper of Daniel Suarez as we come out of turn 4, giving him a big shove as we head down through the tri-oval, coming through to complete the first lap here in this second stage, immediately noticing the pace was picking up after taking off the grill tape and having the car not overheating, so certainly making my confidence boost here in the second stage as we went down the back straightaway. I knew we might have a chance to get up towards the top 10 if we play our cards right now as we look to the inside of the 41 of Suarez as we go down into turn 3, taking over P16 from him, now running behind Bowman and Jones. Obviously Bowman getting win number 1 on his Cup Series career in real life a few days back. A very big congratulations to him. That was awesome to see, even though he beat Kyle Larson, which was unfortunate. Now as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2 on the inside of the 20 of Eric Jones, so we pass Jones and look to the inside as well of Jimmy Johnson, our other teammate, and we would come through down the back straightaway, edging him out into turn 3, and we would get past Johnson, so continuing to move our way forwards as we came to lap 7 now, looking to the inside of Alex Bowman as we went down into turn 3, trying to take over P13 as we go through turn 3, and we do take over that 13th position and now set our sights on Clint Boyer as we came through on lap 11 now, sitting right behind him with a chance to make a move as we head down towards turns 1, sitting in the 12th spot at this point now as we do look to the inside of the 14 of Clint Boyer there as we come through the center of the corner trying to take over P11, so certainly showing much more pace here in stage 2 as we head down the back straightaway side by side with Clint Boyer, and we would go into turn 3, we would be able to get ahead of Clint Boyer now as we came through to another couple laps later, lap 13, looking to the inside of Jamie McMurray as we went down in turns 1 and turns 2, and this would put us now up into the top 10 as we went down the back straightaway, trying to edge out McMurray as we went down into turns 3. We would also be able to pass Brad Keselowski, who had gotten passed by David Reagan as we were approaching now the final lap here in stage 2, so sitting P9 behind David Reagan. A great run so far in this second stage, and I felt like we might even have a car capable of getting up towards a top 5 now as we go through turns 1 and turns 2, closing in now on the back of the 38 of Reagan, maybe a chance to pass him before this second stage comes to an end as we head down the back straightaway. Blaney looking on my bumper, but we protect that position now as we go into turn 3 behind Reagan for the final time here in the second stage, just covering the bottom lane now as we exit turn 4 down the front straightaway. The caution lights are flying, and we would end up getting a yellow as we came through to cross the line just like we did in stage 1, so we get P9 in stage 2. I could not find what brought out the caution this time, but Kyle Busch, he does win the stage. We would come to pit road for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, but this time we would drop 15 positions down to P24. So the AI do not need to take 4 tires, unfortunately, as we're ready to go for this third and final stage, and the green flag is out. We definitely have speed to work our way forwards. As you see behind, it looked like Bubba Wallace it was, who had a blown engine, and he was holding up a bunch of cars, so that was likely the reason to bring up the caution there at the end of stage 2 as we go down through turns 1 and turns 2. Stenhouse sits right behind me now as we make a little bit of contact with Cody Ware in the back of Ross Chastain, getting sideways as we head down the back straightaway now, sitting P25, trying to find a way to get down to the bottom of the track. Obviously, that's going to be what moves us forward now as we make a 3 wide, though, on the outside with Chastain, trying to move our way forwards on this top lane as we go through out of turns 4, clearing Ross Chastain as we head down the back straightaway on the back bumper now of Chris Buescher, as we do have a chance to get to the bottom behind Cody Ware, so obviously I attack on that and get down to the inside right away, sitting P24, looking to the inside now of the 37 of Chris Buescher as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway now, looking to the inside of Cody Ware as well as we go down into turn 3, so quickly moving back forwards now as we come through the center of turn 3, and turn 4, Jimmy Johnson up ahead on the outside of Eric Jones as we look to the inside of Alex Bowman there. Johnson losing some momentum as we cross the line, looking to his inside as we head down towards turns 1, also looking to the inside just about of Ryan Newman as we go through the center of the corner and clearing Newman, looking to the inside now of Daniel Suarez on the back bumper of the 34 of Michael McDowell, so having a great run to start this third and final stage, looking to the inside as well of the 34 of McDowell as we went down into turn 3. We would take that position away, come through turn 3 and turn 4 and get to the inside of Clint Boyer as we exited the corner heading down the front straightaway, so quickly moving our way forwards, and we would move up to P13 as we came to lap 47 now, looking to the inside of Paul Menard now with Eric Jones sitting just behind me as we went down into turn 3 as we would move up into the 11th position at this point. And as we came to 19 to go, looking now to the inside of the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. as we went down into turns 1, we would take the position from him as well and move back into the top 10 here with less than 20 laps to go in Chicagoland, and we would come through to pass Denny Hamlin as well as we came to lap 54. At this point, Eric Jones right on my back bumper, and I would leave the inside open for just a moment, and Jones would be able to attack me as he looks to my inside as we come through, crossing the line with 13 to go, so he would take over P9 as we went down into turns 1, but we would be able to stick with him and certainly have a chance to fight back now as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway, sitting P10 at this point as we came to lap 59 a few laps later, just under 10 laps to go, now looking back to the inside of Eric Jones, making a little bit of contact there as Truex is all over my back bumper as we head down the back straightaway. Obviously a history with Jones within the last handful of races now as we go into turn 3. He put me in the wall at Pocono with a late move, taking my chances of a victory away, and we dumped him last episode in Sonoma now as we go through down the front straightaway, crossing the line. 8 laps remain in Chicago now, side by side with the 20 of Jones, who made contact as we go down into turns 1, but we saved the car. And Jones remains on my right rear as we go through the center of the corner, pushing up the track now. And Truex is going to go full attack mode as he makes it 3 wide as we make contact with Jones again. And we now get saved by Truex there, who was on my inside, and we just about crashed there as we come through turn 3 and turn 4. But that contact with Jones would be a huge setback as we would end up losing contact with the guys up ahead and fall out down still P11, but fall behind from losing the draft there as we cross the line. So a big contact with Eric Jones down the back straightaway. Obviously no love lost there between myself and the 20 car now as we came to just 2 laps to go in this race, still running P11 at this point, with David Reagan running me down as we head down the back straightaway with just a lap and a half to go as we go down through turn 3 and turns 4. So certainly Eric Jones and myself might have a rivalry brewing now. We just continue to have run-ins with each other as we come down through the trial. The white flag is in the air in Chicago. No cautions in this final stage to our surprise now as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2. Reagan closing in quickly now as we come through the center of the corner, exiting turn 2, heading down the back straightaway for the final time here in Chicagoland, trying to hold on to a P11. Now unfortunately not going to be a top 10 as we go through turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in Chicago. Behind us there's a little bit of trouble with someone spinning hard into the wall, and it looks like Clint Boyer, but no caution is called as we come through to finish P11 in Chicago. A solid finish for us in Chicago. Would have loved to get a top 10. Unfortunately, we just came up short there as Bowman's down in 18th. Our teammate Jimmy Johnson as well in 19th. So not good results for them. No Hendrick cars in the top 10 as Kyle Busch comes through to get win number 1 on the season here in Chicago. So trying to start getting some momentum. Last season and the season before, he had so many wins, and this season he's been winless the whole time, and finally he gets win number 1 on the season as we still sit P2 in the points. Harvick kind of running away right now with the points lead. Hopefully we might have a chance to run him down. Joey Logano still winless on the season. That's kind of been a trend in this career mode lately since we went to the 2019 DLC, especially, where Logano really doesn't seem to win or pick up any momentum until we get towards the playoffs. So we might have to watch out for him again. Now, as I would provoke Eric Jones, Cody Ware, we would apologize to him, and obviously apologize to Alex Bowman. I don't even remember getting into Cody Ware, but obviously I guess he does think we got into him. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. In the next episode, we go to Daytona. We've had 2 surprise winners at plate races this season, so we might have one again. But we're going into this race with a different mindset, because you're about to see the point standings on your screen here in just a moment there as we look at the Xfinity points standings. But now as we go to the Cup Series, Jimmie Johnson 72 points out because of Cody Ware being in the playoffs right now. So our mission in Daytona is to push Jimmie Johnson to the victory if possible. We're not even going for the win unless obviously Jimmie Johnson or Alex Bowman isn't up front, then obviously we're going for the win. But if we're up front with Jimmie Johnson towards the end, we're going to try and push Jimmie Johnson to the victory in Daytona to make the playoffs. So we'll see how that goes. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.